Yeah, Big Mac gets into the chat. He says something interesting. Clemson has all the pieces. Tyler needs to fix his wide receiver room. They need to go to practice today and let the machine run. Talking about the jug machine. I agree. I don't know where these drops are coming from. Clemson was plagued with them last season. DJ caught a bunch of the blame. Clearly, we still have drop issues this season. So I don't know how it gets fixed, but I hope it gets fixed. We need it to get fixed if we plan on doing any sort of deep run that we plan on doing this season, whether it be ACC championship and then on into the playoffs. We all know how tough those games get later on in the season. Way less room for error.
And I still haven't seen them use Will Taylor like they did like before he got hurt last year. That's who I'm waiting on too, because obviously the dude's an athlete and he got a lot of speed to him. I know he dropped that punt the day. I really couldn't tell what happened, what caused it, but I'm ready to see them use him in another manner. Because you don't have to have – when we had Octavius Scott, Mike Williams, and the other Tyler Winfro, we always had to have two tall receivers out there at the same time. That's what I look at.
I think it boils down to effort and efficiency.
Right.
They just, like you said, they got to get on that machine, get their hands warmed up, and they need to get their timing down with DJ. And after that, it just comes to effort. They got to, because I don't know. I've seen a lot of giving up on the plays too early, especially on those downfield throws to Ngata.
Yeah.
It seems like they get muscled out of the play sometimes, and it's like, well, DJ is, he's putting the ball right where only you can get it. Like DJ, like he can't throw a much better ball and it's still, an incomplete pass, or you don't get there. I mean, you saw today, Clemson got bailed out a couple times by some PI calls, but
absolutely.
But it's not a good look. And the pressure. DM Law talks about, he talked about Tyler Grisham in the chat, and maybe he's getting some unfair criticism, and there's might be some truth to that, because but at the end of the day, he's the position coach.
Right.
He's absolutely right. Dabo definitely has his hands in the wide receiver room, because he even admitted as such when he was. When he was raving about Antonio Williams, he even said, "It was like, I can't wait to get my hands on him." So Dabo clearly, gets personally involved with the wide receiver development to some degree. So it's not all on Grisham. I think there's just a lot of frustration because the wide receiver recruiting hasn't been up to snuff as of late. And like if they hadn't gotten Randall and Williams last cycle, I think this room would be in a lot more trouble. But
there's no doubt about that.
I'm still in the wait and see category. I'm not selling my Tyler Grisham stock, but I do want to see some improvement. And he admitted as such last year that he didn't get as much out of the room as he felt like he failed the room. So I think he knows that things aren't up to standard. So I have no doubt that he's working to get that get it corrected. So it's a wait and see thing with Grisham and that wide receiver room, and so you would just here's to improvement. So
we'll see. I mean, I think I can't pronounce his name right. Tony Stoley, the one that was the number one slot receiver coming out of Florida.
Stellato, Troy Stellato.
Stellato, yeah.
Yeah, like I know he's been hurt the last 2 years. It's like, maybe he would have helped out, but I don't know, man. This receiver room is just, it got potential, but then you don't see it.
Look, I think our receiver room will be fine. I honestly believe we built some momentum in this game. There were some drops, but I think there were less drops than there were in week 1, and we just got to kind of build on that, right? DJ made a lot better throws in this game. The receivers made better catches in this game. And I think we just have to build upon that. What I did like to see, and me and Smitty were texting about this during the game, is the freaking throws across the middle. I counted probably 6 or 7 in the first half where we attacked the middle of the field and actually completed passes across the middle of the field. I thought it was a fantasy in the Clemson offense when it comes to hitting plays across the middle. I know Clemson fans have been talking about this for, so long at this point. Why can't we attack the middle of the field? You saw Davis Allen attack the middle of the field. You saw other receivers come attack the middle of the field, and it was a sight for sore eyes for me as a Clemson fan to see that be a part of our offense. I don't care who it's against. I don't care. There's going to be other fan bases out there that say, oh, it's just Furman and blah, 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 blah. I don't care. I like to see the calls made, the reads were made, and DJ threw the ball across the middle, and it was a beautiful thing to see.